That's the best way I could describe SmackDown this week, man. Listen, don't let the still image on the screen fool you. Okay, we have a lot to cover, a lot to get into in due time. Yeah. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Jimmy. Welcome back to the Jam. Welcome back to the Jimmy Jam. Welcome back to 2.5 heels. The gang ain't with me this week, so we gonna cover SmackDown. I'm just gonna hit the main points of this episode here. I'm a little tired, and brother got work in the morning, so we're just gonna hit all of the main points. And boy, oh boy, do we have a few. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. So obviously, from the beginning, you can clearly see the thumbnail of this video, and it is official. We are officially on the road to WrestleMania because the Viper is now hearing the voices again. And you know what? Instead of waiting to get to the main event segment of the show here, it's just me. So we're just gonna get right into the shits, okay? It was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton having their main event segment contract signing for WrestleMania. As you heard me say, the voices were back talking into the head of Randy Orton. And at the end of this contract signing, I mean, there were a few key things that Randy Orton said that really, really got my ears, a perked up, a percolating, if you will. He said three words that you never want to hear a 10-plus-year veteran of the professional wrestling business ever say. And those words were, I need this. He said, I need this. That just means that it's ass whoop city for Cody Rhodes come WrestleMania. And then we didn't even have to wait until WrestleMania for ass whoop city. Because, I mean, listen, if I could show at least 10 seconds of the beatdown and not get demonetized and not get blocked, then you could see exactly what went down. But hopefully, this illustration on the screen right there is just enough to let you know that, hey, listen, they want us to boo Randy Orton in this feud. And I'll say, good luck. I have to pretty much spin back and double down on this point here, okay? What other story could you possibly tell when you have, the Viper, the apex predator, the legend killer, the all-time great, to steal AJ Lee's catchphrase, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, because there's not a lot of people who can go through different eras and, still maintain a certain aura about themselves. And to keep it interesting for all this time is just a testament to how good Randy is. So again, everyone's complaining initially about, oh, it's going to be two baby faces and we don't want to. Now, how do you feel about heel Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? If I had to sum it up, at least in my eyes, in my words, well, not my words, but in my opinion, Randy Orton now versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania definitely gets a for sure from me. So, ladies and gentlemen, next thing that's gonna be discussed on the program is actually something that's gonna breeze by because it was a match that kind of breezed by, if you ask me, and I feel like it was just filling the void as we chug along on the train tracks that is the road to WrestleMania. We had Jade Cargill taking on Michin in what appears to be a tune-up match of sorts for Jade Cargill's WrestleMania opponent, Rhea Ripley. And I gotta say, this match was, I didn't expect it to go far, and it didn't really go long. It was Michin in a losing effort. getting defeated, pretty much woman handled by one Jade Cargill, and it was what you expect, a good one-on-one bout to keep Jade looking strong on the road to WrestleMania. And after this match, we get Jade cutting a little promo, if you will, saying some words to one Rhea Ripley. And the go home line for her, she said that at WrestleMania, you will find out why Jade is always on top. And I don't know if Jade knew this, but in professional wrestling, you don't say another wrestler's tagline. Because if you do, the wrestler will appear. And just like that, Rhea Ripley made her appearance on SmackDown to, step up to the WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill. And in true heel fashion, Jade Cargill rolled, and I mean rolled out of the ring. Keep it a beam. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about the online back and forth. Personally, for me, it's just that online back and forth. All that matters is that when the bell rings at WrestleMania, you're going to get two world class athletes in Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley going at it for one of the richest prizes in this business. Again, it was another beautiful segment on SmackDown because we get another appearance from WWE's newest hot ticket and newest merch seller, Dan Howson. And ladies and gentlemen, The Miz, who was getting ready for an episode of Miz TV with his guest Jelly Roll, ran into one Dan Howson in the back. And Dan Howson essentially said, hey, maybe one day I can take over Miz TV and I can have guests and I can do all of the things that the Miz does on TV. And it will replace Miz TV. And Miz did not like that. And he told off Dan Howson. And we all know what was coming next. And right in that moment, Dan Howson said the three words that you do not want him to say to you. And Miz, he said it. So Miz was. This Miz TV segment was pretty much just an advert to eat up time. There was a little back and forth with Jelly Roll. And this eventually led to the arrival of one Kit Wilson, who got into a back and forth with Jelly Roll. And let's just say things did not end well for The Miz. And yeah, The Miz ends up getting knocked out by one Kit Wilson. And now I think this is going to lead to a confrontation with one Kit Wilson and Jelly Roll next week on SmackDown. But it looks like the Dan Howson curse is 2 for 2 and on the run. So I can say this now. If this is where the story is going to take us and we get to the pretty much now at this point inevitable tag team of Miz Howson, then you know what? Sign me up. The t-shirts are going to fly off the shelves. Up next, we get a backstage segment with Jacob Fatu talking to Nick Aldis about the things that was happening on the show. And then out of nowhere, we get the arrival of one Trick Williams, who comes in popping his fly only as he does in WWE. And Jacob Fatu took exception to that. And so did general manager Nick Aldis, because he then booked the match for Jacob Fatu to take on Trick Williams later on in the show. And boy, I will tell you this. I did not expect what happened in this match to have happened in this match. We're not standing on ceremony here, man. After a good back and forth contest between two cats who I know is going to be running this SmackDown roster for quite some time, you had Trick Williams get the victory over Jacob Fatu. Now, nefarious means, to say the less, but nonetheless, Trick Williams defeats Jacob Fatu? What? and I get a lot of hate and a lot of flack in my comments because I've been painting Trick Williams as this big star, and yet he goes out there and does what he says he is going to do. So I say, hop off before we break these lemon pepper steppers off in your hindquarters. But listen, to be honest, how it happened, I feel like everybody that was watching the show could have seen this from a mile away. As we all can see, if you saw the show, then you know what happened. The man who said he quit. The man who said he quit came back and ended up costing Jacob Fatu this match. And listen, this was perfect for everybody involved because Trick could have easily gotten this win with his big move. But again, we got to protect Jacob Fatu at all costs. And hopefully this leads to a WrestleMania match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. Because Nick Aldis did announce that a match was going to happen next week. But if I had to put my nerd hat on and really, really guess something, I feel like this is just going to be a smaz, if you will, a brawl, if you will, just a whole lot of
for sure.
So we can, build this up so that way we can have something to do for WrestleMania. But all in all, I feel like with a couple of things that, I failed to cover on this show. I mean, with the MFTs going back and forth with the Wyatts about the lantern, with Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov building up this forever feud that they're going to have over the U.S. title is pretty good. You had Tiffany Stratton come through and defeat Kiana James on the road to Julia in the women's U.S. title. And Chelsea Green just continuing to be the undisputed MVP of WWE without a championship, without even having to wrestle, just maximizing those minutes. And that and a whole bunch of other stuff happened. But if you want to, you can go check out the highlights for yourself. Check out other past episodes of 2.5 Heels on YouTube. Everything will be migrating over towards that way. Listen, myself, Bree, and Ali appreciate everybody's support, all the views, all the likes, all the comments, everything. We appreciate it, okay? We'll be getting more content out. I'll be doing more content like this. Hopefully you guys will, enjoy it, partake in it, love it. And with this, we'll wrap this up. We'll get up out of here. And again, hopefully we'll have the gang here to cover Monday Night Raw. If I'm not mistaken, I think we have AEW Revolution this weekend. Cheese and crackers, it's a lot of wrestling. So I don't know if I'll be able to cover that. If I do get off in time to look at it, then I may look at it and may do a show. But if not, we'll try to speak on it on the next show. So with that being said, I go by Uncle Black 215, and I will see you in the next one.